Hey, what's going on, guys? Tom Lloyd here. You are watching At the Tanks with Tom Lloyd, and I have a special guest here with us. One of my good buddies, longtime friend of mine, Trey Schroeder. Welcome, buddy.
How's it going, Tom?
Good, man. Good. How's everything in your world?
It's going pretty well, actually. Just picked up deer hunting again I think the last time I went was probably 8 or 10 years ago. So trying that out again, and life's
Yeah.
been good. Been doing some bassing too, and can't beat it. It's fall
Yeah.
time.
Are you at home in the Theodosia or whatever they call it?
Yes, sir. Yep. We're down in Theodosius
Theodosia.
right now.
I'm just kidding. I know how to pronounce it. It's just funny hearing everybody else pronounce it, and your mom gets all bent out of shape about that. It's pretty funny. But yeah, Theodosia, Missouri. So for those of you that don't know, Trey, why don't you tell everybody where that's at in the world?
So it's on pretty well the northmost end of Bull Shoals Lake. It's right around Pontiac. It's about an hour and a half from Branson and Springfield, so
Yeah,
kind of not too far from everything, but on the way to nothing.
right, exactly. Yeah, it's not the end of the world, but you can see it from there for sure. Yep, right on. Well, it probably affords you some good fishing whenever you're home and not traveling on the opens this year, right? So, have you been getting to do much fishing there at Bull this year?
Yeah. Besides just traveling for the opens, man, it's that's taken up most of the time. But when I'm not traveling, yeah, I'm out here slinging around something.
Heck yeah.
Times of
How's
the day, time of year.
yeah, for sure. How's the fishing right now?
It's pretty good. They're nailing top water, and it's starting to get cold again, so you can catch them kind of doing whatever you want, really.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
fun. That's fun. Catching some good ones or just a lot of numbers?
Mostly numbers. Run into a good one or two a day, but
Yeah,
nothing crazy like it is in the
right.
spawn. Yep.
Right, for sure. For sure. Well, cool, man. Well, I got you on here a lot of different reasons. I've known Trey for a long time. Whenever I first met you or knew of you or whatever you want to say, where you were slinging around a glide bait, and it was probably, man, I don't even know what year that would have been. 2010, 2008, 2008, somewhere in that ballpark, standing on the edge of the dock, throwing a glide bait around, just watching that thing. And I don't know if you ever caught one, it didn't matter, but you were just watching it, trying to figure out how to make it spin around. And back then, I mean, it was what, an S waver probably?
Yeah, I think so. I think I was
Yeah,
throwing a mess waiver most of the
yeah.
time then. They were pretty affordable.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Much more so than a lot of the ones today.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Yeah, I
but yeah,
think
no, it's pretty.
we met. I think at the Vern Cubbage tournament, right?
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
bet. You bet. So no, it's been quite some time. I've obviously followed you and all your adventures and fishing and all that good stuff. And you were at Lindbergh there fishing high school, McKendree, and then on into the opens and all that good stuff. So we'll touch on that a little bit later. But I want to talk about your most recent and probably biggest win of your career by a long shot. You've done a lot, but this has got to be up there. So tell us about your Tom Bigby Bass Open.
Oh man, that was kind of a fever dream to tell you the truth. It was so going into the tournament, practice was absolutely horrible. I think I caught maybe 3 or 4 keepers in 3 days of practice and had maybe 5 bites. Like it was bad. And towards the end of practice, I came back up and fished right around the boat ramp, like everyone knows, and got 2 or 3 bites the last day of practice. Besides, like what I had before that, and I was like, man, well, if I can fish for 8+ hours for these fish versus running for 2+ hours, then we're just gonna do that. And it just happened to work out day one. Started on a couple of good little willow grass stretches and missed 2 or 3 bites right off rip. And I was like, oh man, like we can't be doing that this week. This is almost the most bites I've had, you know?
Yeah.
And so kept plugging along, catch like 13-incher, put him in the box and going back around a little point. And man, I thought I snagged a carp. It just locked up and started. I thought it was rolling in the grass. The sun was in my eyes, and started horsing him. And then big old mouth came up and started wallering, and I was like, "Oh boy!" Like that's not a. I thought it was a grinnell or a carp. I was like,
Right.
"That's a bass," and just went to go boat flip him, and he took out all my rods on the way in, and then was flopping in the bottom of the boat, and I was just like, "Holy cow!" Like that's the biggest. I didn't even know they made them like that in the town.
Right.
Yeah, but that kind of when that happened, it kind of lit a fire under me. I was like, well, now I have one fish for as much as I was kind of expecting to catch for the whole day. You know?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, so I was like, now I really gotta make this one count. And we ended up catching a couple more good fish by chance to go into it, and it kind of keyed me in on something too, like where they were setting up in the grass. So I went around that and just fishing, throwing a swim jig until
Hair jig.
yeah,
You wanted to be throwing a hair jig.
I wish, man. That's fun stuff.
Swim jig. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there anything special about that swim jig, or was it? I mean,
no, I actually got one right over here. It's just a homemade swim jig that I put a white skirt on, and
yeah.
Yep.
Grab it real quick if you don't mind. Show it off a little bit, but yeah, it was definitely fun to watch. Obviously, Bassmaster does a great job on live, and so we were able to see Trey fishing a little bit on the last day, at least. And
this is one of the ones it looks like. Still got some braid tied to them. But
there you go.
Yep, just nothing special, just a 3/8 ounce white hair jig.
Yeah.
And I was throwing a 6-inch stroker crawl on the back of that. Yep.
Right on. Just doing the old Coosa shake.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's almost inherent whenever you're fishing in grass. It's like natural. You know, once you do it for a little while, it's like you start just doing it. And for those of you that don't know, it's just shaking it like this as you're reeling it. And that crawl on the back of there, it doesn't matter what kind of crawl you have, really, because you're just imparting so much action into that thing. And even if the craw's, tough or not swimming awesome, you can still put a lot of action towards it. And for me, I mean, a lot of guys like a paddle tail, but when I'm swimming grass, I love just that crawl style trailer again, whatever one you like, but that's definitely a good go-to for sure.
Yeah, it's hard to go wrong with the swim jig trailer, man. If it's really sparse grass too, sometimes I'll throw a chunk on there. That helps float it as well. It's pretty
for sure. No, that is true. That is true for sure. So what'd you have? 16, 14, 12? Is that what it was? Somewhere in there?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And the last day I ended up only having 4 fish, and I was pretty convinced that I had let that one slip through.
Yeah. You could definitely tell by your face, and I put together a little thumbnail for this, and you'll see that on the YouTube. But I threw that picture with you and Steven on there, Steven Browning, and he was just in disbelief, and you're in more of disbelief, and it was fun to watch for sure, because you really, I mean, in my opinion, and you tell me if I'm wrong, I mean, it really seemed like you had no clue that you won right at that point.
No clue. I thought at most I maybe had 10 pounds. The first fish I caught was not early, but probably 8 or 9 o'clock, and flopped them in and threw them in the box. It wasn't weighing or really looking at much, and then I had 2 14-inchers.
Yeah,
and I was like, man, that's pretty rough. But yeah, Stephen Browning, man, he's a really awesome guy. I ended up talking to him more after the tournament a little bit, and yeah, super cool guy. And something cool about that tournament too is when I was in the weigh-in line, Russ Lane right before he went up, he looked at me and said, he told me that I might have it, and I was like, I still wasn't believing it. You know, I just kind of figured he's being polite or whatever.
Right.
And I made a gentleman's bet with him for a beer, and I ended up losing the bet, but he got a beer out of me.
You got to have a beer with Russ Lane. You can't.
Oh
I
yeah,
think you won. I think you won that deal either way. So
definitely. It was really
but
cool deal.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Well, that's a awesome achievement. Super cool the way it went down, and obviously on a place that I guess you haven't been, probably, right?
Yeah, that was the last place I would have ever expected to even have a chance at winning.
Right.
Honestly, earlier in the year when we were at Norfolk, I kind of figured that was going to be one of my best opportunities to pull off a win. So it was for good reason that it was a 1-day event, but I was definitely a little bummed because that's how I grew up fishing here
Right.
at Bull Shoals. Was we get those crazy big rains every 3 to 5 years that bring the lake up 10+ feet in a couple of days, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's fun stuff when you know where to go and know what you're looking for, and if you find
Yeah.
it, you can load the boat. But yeah, Norfolk's just a tiny lake, but it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a bummer, and obviously I circled that one on my calendar for you for sure, and a couple other guys around, but it was definitely a bummer with the schedule and how that all shook out this year for all the cancellations and everything, and can't blame anybody. They're all worried about safety and all that, so I mean, ultimately that's we don't want anybody dying over this deal, but at the same
No,
time,
sorry.
it's definitely a bummer. And for Casey Scanlon, it worked out really, really, really good. So, and good for him, and another Missouri local guy. So that's, I guess, everything happens for a reason, and it's one of those deals that and probably after that tournament or what was Rayburn got canceled a day or two, but I'm guessing, I mean, it's got to change your mindset a little bit in these opens, especially when there's a little weather coming. Like, we're not laying off any fish.
Yeah, that doesn't really change for me either way, man. I try to burn it down every day I go out there. Nothing's promised for tomorrow, so I just every day I'm out there, I'm trying to get as many opportunities as I can.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's interesting. We can kind of go there. I mean, you hear guys talking about, oh, I got, whatever I think, 15 pounds, 16 pounds, whatever in the boat, and that's gonna be a good day. And you catch another 3 pounder, you catch another 3 pounder, and it's like, well, dang, you know, I am burning these fish up. So talk to me a little bit more about that, like what your theory is or your logic on that, and kind of educate some of these folks that are going to be watching this either live or on the replay. Just kind of, if you're fishing right now, it's sorry for the long-winded intro to this one, but it's championship season right now. I mean, everybody's fishing all these championships. Joe Bass Championship last weekend, OMTT. So it's a lot of guys that are used to fishing a lot of 1-day tournaments, but fishing a 2-day tournament is a big difference. And talk to us a little bit about your logic and your theories on that, and kind of how you can help educate some of these guys that aren't used to doing that.
Well, I mean, man, those guys catch them here and like in all the championships going on right now. Those guys catch them, and in the opens too, man. If you're not catching as much as you can each day, you're not gonna. It's kind of just how it is, and you got
Hmm.
to catch as much weight as you can each day. It's kind of I mean, 3 days of the heaviest stringers are what's going to win the tournament. So I just try to do the best that I can each day. And going back to like conserving fish, I would rather have 4 to 5, maybe even 6 game plans that I can go through in a day versus having fish that I'm trying to conserve and make last for numerous days.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
No, that makes sense. Were you able to do that at Tom Bigby, or were you pretty much on one? No,
No,
that's what I was gonna
no,
say.
that
Yeah.
was good old. That's how pretty much how I fished in college. Pretty much at McKendree University, man, all the little lakes that we fished for qualifiers were 600-acre lakes. We went to a couple of bigger ones, but most of them were, I mean, if there wasn't houses, you could almost walk the bank on some of these places.
Right.
And so when you put 20 guys on them, and well, they all know what they're doing, so by 8 or 9 o'clock, those fish are well pressured, and I feel like that definitely helped in the Big B win, to just know that I'm going to stick with one thing all day long, and if I can get 5 bites doing it all day, then I'll be satisfied with those 5.
Obviously, you got four keepers on the last day. Did you have another one hooked up at all, or was it just?
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
I think I was just fishing a little too fast. I do that from time to time, man. But I think we're all guilty of that too. But
Guaranteed.
yeah, I was definitely a little nervous.
Yeah. Well, hey, you did your job, and you did what needed to be done there, and got the W. And now we're heading the Classic. How stoked are you for that?
Dude, that's been the dream since I was reading Bassmaster magazines, man. I mean, that's the goal.
Yeah.
Get to the Classic and get to the elites.
Right. For sure.
I mean,
so
at least in my eyes, that's those are the 2 pinnacles of bass fishing. Yep.
No doubt about it. It's hard to argue that. I'm sure there's some folks that think otherwise with MLF and Redcrest and all that, but I'm with you. It's not even the same. So, might have lost Trey there. I don't know if you're getting a phone call or something like that, but yeah. So it's one of those deals that he's gonna get to go fish the Classic. So the way that it works in the Bass Opens this year is there's 4 qualifiers for 2 different divisions, so 8 total qualifying tournaments that then qualify you for what they call the EQs, which is a 3 tournament series after the 4 qualifying tournaments, or 8 qualifying tournaments, depending on what you fished. And each one of those tournaments is a berth to the Classic if you win it. And you're given your fishing all of those. So, you get a chance to go to the Classic now, and we're going to Tennessee River in Knoxville, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So in March.
Yep.
We will.
And the snow leopard isn't going to be there, so it's going to be anyone's game apparently this time.
No doubt. Old Gussie's not going to be there, huh?
Nope.
So
that sucks. But
what's that?
I was going to say that kind of sucks, but yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't even get a chance to defend his lake there, or his river, I guess you'd say. But that's all right. That's the way.
His river.
That's the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. But yeah, did you get a chance to go pre-practice over there? I'm sure.
Yeah, I did actually. I went over there for about a week and a half already once, and plan on doing it a little bit more.
Yeah. What'd you think? Had you been there before?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
What'd you think? Compare it to something if guys aren't familiar.
Man, it's another TVA lake. Me and the TVA got pretty shaky history, so I'm just trying to get as many bearings on the place as I can, and just kind of piece the puzzle together little by little.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, that's exciting. We will definitely be there cheering you on. So I'm excited to see you in there and getting after it here coming up in March of 2026. So exciting. So other than that, the rest of the season qualified for the EQ. So that means you did pretty well over the course of the first 4 tournaments. I think you fished all 8 though, right? I mean,
yes, sir.
Yeah. So would you have qualified in both?
Yes, sir.
Divisions? Awesome. That's great. So qualified top 50. You don't have to fish all 8, but you can fish 4, you can fish 8, whatever you want to do. But you got to be in the top 50 to go to the EQs, which is a 3 tournament series basically, where they zero out the points and allow those guys to go at it. And you got to be in the top 10. So where are we sitting in points right now?
Sitting in the 30s.
Yeah.
I looked. Mom told me, and some of my buddies told me where I was sitting at. I think I'm in like. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but it's like 32nd to 35th or something like that. So
Yeah, all good. Doesn't matter at this point. We just gotta go catch them at Okeechobee, right?
yep, I'm thinking a top 10, and we'll make things interesting. But it's we're like right on that line of we're gonna have to catch some big ones at Okeechobee.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. It'll be an interesting event. It sounds like there's a lot of guys that are obviously bailing out on that deal too, just because it's, if you ain't got a shot, that's a long way to go. They almost could have thought that one through a little bit and put that one more somewhat centrally located, so at least they'd get some people to come show up because. A guy that's in the top 10 right now is loving it because there's not as many points to be made up. But if you're outside of that.
It'll still be 95 points for first place in the event.
Okay. So.
I believe so. I'm pretty positive.
Yeah, no, for sure on that. But is it harder to make up points ground because there's not as many people that you could be above? You follow what I'm saying?
I do. It's always harder to make up points, though.
No, I get it. But like on a bigger field, I think it's easier to make up a bigger
because someone
difference.
in the top could fall farther.
That's right. Yeah. So that's all I was getting at, and it's an interesting, always interesting to look at points, but it doesn't really matter until the end. So like you said, just go fish, go catch them, and that's really all that matters. So.
Yes,
But
sir.
anyway, good luck on that. Wanted to kind of transition. You're one of those guys that Bassmaster is. It's kind of the dream scenario for the bass, agenda, if you will. So they, obviously they're encouraging the high school and the college and the opens and the elites and the classic and all that stuff. And you're literally living proof of the fact that a guy can do it. It reminds me a lot of Jeremy Lawyer, where on the MLF or FLW side, he was the living proof that a guy that is from, in his case, a small town, which you're from an even smaller town. Well, I mean, St. Louis, not, but where you're at now. But, a guy from that could go out and fish the BFLs, go to the All American, win the All American, go to the tour, win events on the tour, go to BPT, and so it's the same kind of deal. And it's really cool to have seen that and kind of watched your whole career. Came to a lot of events with Lindbergh and that sort of thing, and watched you through college. But talk to us a little bit about from fishing. Probably the Cubbage tournament was the very first tournament you ever fished, I'm guessing. So
Yes,
that's
sir.
just a little bitty tournament on Bull Shoals Lake. It's just a little memorial tournament for a gentleman, and just a buddy tournament. So talk to us. I mean, just briefly on each level, but talk to us a little bit about how that's shaken out and went down for you.
So, want me to start in high school?
Yeah, or start at the Cubbage if you want.
I misunderstand the question.
Yeah, just talk to us a little bit about how everything.
Yeah, so the first tournament, the year prior to that. Oh,
Sorry, it's lagging.
Kind of losing you there. What'd you say now?
I think it was lagging a little bit.
Good old Theodosia internet, buddy.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Here, I can try to move this around a little bit. Yep.
Can you hear me?
Broken up pretty bad, but I could hear you.
All right. Let me try to take you out and put you back in real quick. Sorry about that, guys. We're gonna get him launched back out here. All right. How about now? Can you hear me better?
I'm gonna give this a go now.
Yep.
Yep, I got you now.
All right.
Sweet. All right. So, yeah, the first tournament I ever fished was at Bullshoals Lake Vernacubbage tournament. I was probably 12 or 13. I fished it with my pops, and pretty much got the bug from there, man. I started the high school team at Lindbergh High School, and my buddy Grant Nisbet and I fished all 4 years with my dad, Troy, as their boat captain, and had some great memories doing that. Learned a lot about fishing and fishing tournaments. From there, I went into college, and Grant went into guiding at Lake of the Ozarks. And so college was really fun too, man. I got to meet a lot of really good people and had a little bit of success right off rip. My buddy Ty Christie and I qualified for the college classic bracket our freshman year, and his senior year and my fourth year. And I ended up staying for a fifth year and fished with good buddy Lane Stevens. And from there, when I graduated, man, hopped right into the Opens and haven't looked back since. The first couple of Opens that I fished were pretty shaky. I think I had like 100 something and at Okeechobee, and then we went to Ouachita, finished like 80 something there, and then Santee Cooper another 100 something place finish, man. And I felt that it definitely it was a wake up call, and ended
Yeah.
up having a pretty good event up north at St. Clair, and that's kind of what you and I were talking a little bit earlier about, what Hank has like referred to about turning it around and stuff like that. And I think that's what he kind of means by that, is because, man, after St. Clair, it kind of just gave me the confidence that if I just go fish and do everything that I can to do my best, then I mean, that's all you can do at the end of the day.
That's
And
right.
yep, that just kind of gave me the confidence that you're going to have bad tournaments, but if you put your head to it and everything you got to it, then you can do it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you definitely have turned it around and shown the world, fishing world especially, that it is all about just working at it and making it happen. So that is cool. And again, we're really excited for you. So talk to me about some of these lakes. I mean, maybe Tom Bigby, but some of these other lakes. I know traveling around in college and high school. High school is more regional. Missouri stuff, but obviously once you got into college at McKendree, you were traveling all over the country. And talk to us about breaking down a brand new lake never been to, from the time that it's on the schedule, and you're getting to go there, and just pick a lake and just kind of talk about how you would break that down, or what kind of things you do to make yourself or put yourself in a good position even before you show up.
Okay. Um, let's think. I honestly don't do a whole ton of pre-practicing for other lakes. I have a few times. I'm trying to think of a good one that actually mattered, that I found something in pre-practice that
Or
played in the.
maybe just whenever you get there, just a lake that you haven't been to before, whether you pre-practice it or not, but just when you get there, it's definitely overwhelming for someone that has never been somewhere. And again, just trying to help out some of these guys that are going to these championships this time of year. Let's just say you've never been to Grand, or you never been to Ouachita, or you never been to wherever. How do you just get there and show up and know what boat ramp to go put in at for the first day?
So some of the research I'll do before I get to a place is I always look at where major tournaments are going out of, because there's always going to be some sort of release fish around there. And we're normally out of the same boat ramps that the larger tournaments are taking out of as well. So I always try to keep something around the ramp just in case of any sort of problems. I could take a lower unit off, God forbid, or whatever, and I need to have something close that I know I can catch fish on, or at least make it to. So I always try to find something close. That's usually where I'll start. And the other one is I usually try to run as far away as I can from everyone. I mean, I'm sure we all kind of do that to an extent, but I try not to pay too much attention to like historical places on a lake. Like, let's say, for example, Sam Rayburn. We went there. Like the Black Forest and all of that stuff is historically just really good. Like that whole section around the bridge up there and Veach and stuff, that's historically just a really good area of the lake. And not that I try to stay out of those areas, but I don't just pour everything I got into being like, this is where I need to be. And for that.
Yeah.
Yep. And so another example might be like Wheeler. That we can talk about Wheeler. That was a rougher tournament for sure. I did exactly what I just said not to do. I went on the Decatur Flats for 2.5 days and tried to make something work out there and just couldn't figure it out. So ended up running a spook all day on day 2 because day 1 I tried to throw a drop shot and a spook a little bit and stuff like that and just catch as much weight as I can, but it just was not happening, wasn't getting a lot of bites at all. And so day 2 I just went with what got my biggest bites and I just locked it in my hand, fished shell beds and current breaks all day and got
what makes that place, I mean, I've never been to Wheeler, but like what makes that place such a spook lake? Like,
I think
not a plopper, not a buzzbait, not a popper. It's a spook lake. Like, don't bother picking anything else up.
it's a lot it's kind of like the Ozarks, honestly. You get around a lot of gizzard shad and on those flats, and I think, well, most of the lake that makes it a spook lake, most of the lake is 5 foot and less when you're fishing around like the flats and stuff like that. So pretty much everywhere is you can catch one on the top water.
Yeah.
But I think that helps a lot. But I mean, it's chocked full of bait. I just don't. Like I said earlier, the TVA and I have a shaky relationship. I don't know what it is about those places, but sometimes we get along great, and other times she kicks my teeth in. But
yeah, well, that's the way it goes. All right. Well, the last little segment we'll kind of do here is just, technique or bait or whatever you're really want to explain, whatever you think you're good at, something that you want to kind of dive deep into as far as a specific tactic, specific, bait or combination of baits that, you can help our listeners here. We call this at the tanks because everybody, while we're standing around the tanks, weighing in, waiting to weigh in, we're all talking about how the day went and we caught a fish on this bait, we caught a fish on that bait. But give us a bait or a tactic that you really like or enjoy that you can really break down and maybe help somebody catch another fish.
yeah, man. Honestly, one of my favorite techniques as of recent has really just been top water. Whether it be a spook, a popper, a buzzbait, or whatever, it's that time of the year right now. Big ones are in the upper water column, and they're hungry. They're looking for a big bait, big gizzard shad, something like that they can start putting on that winter feed with. That's probably my favorite thing to do as of right now, especially no matter where I'm at.
Right. So talk to us a little bit about
and
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, talk to us a little bit about the setup, rod, reel, line, that sort of thing, for a top water that, pick a bait, buzz bait or spook or whatever.
Yep. So I'll run you through both my buzzbait and my spook setup because that's usually the two that I run. I'm usually running like a 6.6 to a 6.10 medium action, kind of a jerkbait style rod with 30-pound to 50-pound braid. Depends if I'm fishing open water or making shorter casts around docks. If I'm fishing open water, I like the lighter braid for longer casting and whatnot. And if I'm around boat docks and stuff like that, I up my braid size just so it's I have a little more control of the bait, a little more accurate, not breaking a bunch of spooks.
Yeah, no doubt.
But and then my buzzbait, I am always throwing that joker on a 7-foot medium heavy to a 7-foot 2 medium heavy with 65-pound braid, and I'm usually running a homemade buzzbait or a head knocker of some sort or a plopping style bait.
Yeah. Are you
6 Sense just came out with one of those too that I've been liking a little bit. It's like a 110 size bait.
Yeah. Are you a toad guy, a skirt
Sorry,
guy?
I'll lose connection super bad.
All good. Can you hear me?
Golly. Hello?
You got me?
Yeah, I got you now.
Yeah.
So.
So as far as, you know, the buzzbait, are you more of a toad style guy or skirt, or does it really depend? And what, if it depends, what does it depend on?
I'm pretty much always throwing a toad or a beaver style bait. I'm not too particular with my if I'm using a toad or a beaver, but just something other than a skirt. I don't really like a skirt a whole lot. It just doesn't serve much of a purpose for me on a buzzbait. I like just something flat that helps keep that buzzbait planing off and up on top of the water so I can reel it slower if I need be.
Yep.
I feel like
Absolutely.
with a skirt, you don't get the same stability and or speed. Yep.
Yeah, it definitely wants to fall down a little bit further. But well, cool, Trey. Well, I really appreciate you jumping on here.
Really having trouble hearing you. You hear me, Tom?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Sweet.
Yep. Well, I was just going to say, I really appreciate you jumping on here. We're excited for you to go fish that classic. Obviously, excited to watch how the rest of the year shakes out in the opens on the last event at Okeechobee. And hopefully you go down there and catch a bunch and catch some big ones and make that top 10 and get on to the elites. That would be a hell of a accomplishment for you. And getting to the elites and the classic in the same year would be epic. So,
Yes, sir.
all right, buddy. Well, I appreciate your time and go get some hunting done. And did you see anything tonight?
I didn't see any tonight. I heard a grunt in the
Yeah.
bottom of a little creek ditch, but no, there's a lot of sign out there. I think I've been bad. I've been sleeping in the past couple of days, just sleeping in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Might not look like it. I'm trying to get some of this stuff organized before we get back on the road. But
No doubt.
yes,
That's always a work in progress. So, all right, buddy. We'll go get after him and good luck at Okeechobee.
thanks, Tom. Take care.
See ya.
Bye-bye.